Rick, welcome to IPEM. There's lots going on, really busy, great vibe. You're obviously a busy man, having lots of conversations at your booth from what I've seen. What sort of conversations you're having? What sort of themes and topics are coming up today?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, this conference has just grown from strength to strength. It's expanded in size, but also in the range of people who are here across geographies, across disciplines within private equity. I think the whole conference has grown, and it's great to be here on a nice day in Paris as well. In terms of the topics that people are discussing, I've heard the full range. Everyone's talking about the macro, but actually there seems to be a bit more energy in the market and a bit more of a feeling that we've come through some uncertainty and people are looking for where to do business.
You mentioned lots of geographies, lots of asset classes here, and that the conference has really grown in that sense. I mean, Montagu knows itself, and I think is known in the market as a carve-out specialist. What is it about that particular part of the market that you find so compelling?
I guess there are elements that we find compelling about it through the cycle, and there are elements that we find compelling about it right now in particular. But when you're looking through the cycle, we find within carve-outs, we are able to deliver a solution to businesses who are looking to exit non-core assets. For them, it realizes capital. For us, it tends to create an opportunity to support a business that may not have been the primary investment part of a business up until that point. It may have been somewhat starved of capital, starved of imagination as a result of being a non-core business. So we're looking to give those businesses room to really grow and investment capital to grow, and of course access to our operating partners and the capabilities that we've got within us as a firm. So it's taking a rough diamond and being able to polish it, and taking a carve out from a larger business tends to be one of the biggest opportunity sets that we find.
You talked about the market being very different now. The macro environment is very different. Do you find that a lot of businesses are coming to you because of your specialism in carve-out, or is it just that the market is driving people for solutions generally?
People are looking for solutions, but when you're looking to carve out a part of your business, it's not as simple as finding a price and selling. It's a complex process which you'll be wearing the decisions you make for months and potentially years after if you work with the wrong partner. And so actually what we find people are looking for is someone who is a capable partner and is able to deliver them two things: certainty and speed of process. And with an experience of decades and multiple carve-outs under our belt, people like the idea of working with us because we're able to deliver that level of certainty to them.
I suppose that also requires a certain skill set in your team, in your people, the way you approach things. Can you talk me through a little bit how you think about the skills that you need in a business that got that specialism?
Yeah, I mean, we've done nearly 30 of these over the last 20 years. So we've built muscle memory within every one of the individuals within the business, but we've also built dedicated carve-out capability within our operating partner team, where these are the guys who run the process every time. There are aspects of every carve-out that are unique, particularly the complexity involved in that separation process, but there are aspects of it that are the same every time. And it's being able to run through the business, work out what the cost base is going to need to look like once it's a standalone business, but also what the process is going to be of separating it and what shared services you're going to need to take advantage of for a period while you're doing that separation. That's where the complexity really comes into those processes. But what you find in carve-outs across the market, they are not a universally strongly performing set of transactions, because a lot of people come unstuck on the way they're running the separation process, or on what the business is going to look like after it's separated and the cost base that it's going to run. And that's where we pride ourselves on being able to deliver an accurate, rapid process.
Yeah, I mean, again, just sticking on this idea of the specialist, I find it fascinating. Does it? I mean, all PE firms will get involved with their portfolio at a very granular level, but is there almost another level you have to go as a carve-out specialist? You really need to be under the bonnet of that business, because if there's going to be a carve-out, this is kind of something unique that you're going to be creating. Is there a sort of a difference in mindset?
I mean, at an extreme level of integration within the parent company, you're taking out a revenue line and you have to build an entire business around that revenue line. Now, we're looking to work with the manager of that business, but there's very rarely going to be a functioning CFO, CTO, CMO, COO. You need to build that whole management team. And so understanding what the business does and how it operates, but also understanding what it needs in order to deliver, that's a key part of the process.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Rick, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks very much for having me.